open up your noise gate. Let me explain this a little more.
Very serious circumstance. He has a virus that can go anything from manageable over the course of a few days to a real battle. Now, I'm not talking about me and my battle. That is just an iota of our understanding. His physician is not painting as rosy a picture as he did just hours before when he told us the president was battling COVID very well. Trump himself seems uncertain, uncharacteristically uncertain of his fate. And by the way, he should be. This is scary and uncertain. And all he can do is his best to rely on the treatment and let his body fight until he is better. And certainly, the one thing we know for sure is that that's what everybody should want. Certainly I do. I want him to get through this. I want his wife to get through this. And I want us to all come together and start talking about what matters in a way where we can actually do something about this pandemic. Our president being sick is a huge galvanizing point for this country. You can now no longer debate whether or not coronavirus is real, whether this pandemic is real, whether it's dangerous, because our president, who has the best of everything and the best protection and has been telling you not to worry about it, is now sick enough to be in a hospital and be getting very significant treatment. So with that as context, here's the newly released message from the president tonight.
I'm starting to feel good. You don't know over the next period of a few days. I guess that's the real test. So we'll be seeing what happens over those next couple of days.
4-minute message to you tonight. Is this the best sense of what's happening? I don't know. It's hard to know. It's hard to know when the tape was made. It's hard to know whether or not this is someone who doesn't want to cause panic. Or whether he is being the typical kind of cautiously optimistic that people are when they're sick. Let's bring in Chief White House Correspondent Jim Acosta and also CNN medical analyst Dr. Jonathan Reiner. Great to have you both so we can, Doc, do the reporting side with me and Jim, and then what the typical protocols are and what makes sense and what doesn't to you as a clinician at the same time. Now, Jim, I want to debrief first from you. I know you and I are experiencing the same thing with this kind of deluge of disinformation, stories that don't make sense from people who should all be on the same page. What is your best reckoning from your sources of where things stand?
Well, I think it flows on a couple of different tracks, Chris. I think, first of all, we have to say, a doctor is supposed to do no harm, right? And I think today, Dr. Sean Conley, the White House physician, did a lot of harm today. He passed on what appears to be bad information to the American people when he painted this rosy assessment of the president's condition earlier today, only to be contradicted by an official who spoke to the White House pool there outside Walter Reed, gathered outside Walter Reed. We came to find out later through the New York Times and the Associated Press that White House official was Mark Meadows, the chief of staff. I will tell you, I also talked to a senior White House official earlier today who is contradicting what Dr. Conley said earlier today and saying that the president's condition yesterday was very serious, and that is why they got him over to Walter Reed. But I mean, just to point out, just in that vein, Chris, just to point out, looking at the president's physician's statement this evening that came out tonight, it says that he remains fever-free and off supplemental oxygen. Well, remember earlier today, Dr. Conley was not really giving a definitive answer as to the issue of supplemental oxygen. We had to go through our sources to confirm that, yes, the president was on supplemental oxygen yesterday, and now Dr. Conley is acknowledging that in this statement. And I think anytime you have a White House physician, Chris, saying that the president of the United States is not out of the woods, medically speaking, that is concerning. And I talked to a source familiar with the situation earlier this evening, Chris, who said it is a very good thing that President Trump is at Walter Reed tonight, because his situation could go south very quickly, and he needs to be cared for by the best out there, and that's what they have at Walter Reed.
Well, Jim, I got to tell you, that's the best read I've heard in terms of what makes the most sense from all these different threads. So thank you for that. And now let's have a little bit of a rolling conversation about what makes sense here. Obviously, Doc, you don't have to be a clinician to know that you don't come off something that you were never on. right? So logically, if he had to come off supplemental oxygen, that means he was on supplemental oxygen. So in context, when you treat a case like COVID-19, if he's in the hospital and they have done the things to him that they have done, what does that sound like to you in terms of least common denominator of what must be true about what they think of his condition?
Well, let's start with what is remarkably unusual about his treatment, which is that he received both the unapproved, still very experimental Regeneron monoclonal antibodies, and then a day later started a 5-day course of remdesivir. I don't think the combination of the monoclonal antibodies and the antiviral remdesivir has ever been given to the same patient, ever, anywhere. So think about that.
What does that mean?
Does
that mean that he's getting better treatment, or does it mean that it's more risky? Give us some context for the lay people.
So think about this. They threw the kitchen sink at the president at the very beginning of his illness. So it means one of two things. Either the president was extraordinarily ill at the very beginning of his illness, or his team was extraordinarily panicked about the president at the beginning of his illness. They took an unprecedented step in medicine to combine those two therapies at the very outset of the illness. The other wild card is we don't know how panicked the patient was. So some of the cadence of his therapies may have been dictated by the patient. So that's very unusual, number one. And it would be incredibly unusual for the patient to be that sick literally the day he turns positive. And it's an important point because we really don't know when the president turned positive. I think the best assumption is that he was infected at the September 26th SCOTUS announcement, where we now see a large outbreak, and there's plenty of video of unmasked, non-social distance meetings, both inside and outside.
Right, but doctor, let me stop you for a second, because we don't have to speculate, Doc, because, Jim, you have reporting about when they believe he first tested positive, yes?
Yeah, we are hearing tonight from one senior administration official that they believe at this point that this likely got started at that Supreme Court announcement event over here at the White House last Saturday. I will caution, though, we are talking to sources who are also telling us that that is not definitive yet, and that the White House medical unit is still doing the contact tracing and still trying to do its analysis. So not a done deal, but as we know, Chris, we've been talking about this over the last 24 hours. That has been the best guess, the best theory all along, because of the number of people who were infected with the coronavirus, tested positive for the coronavirus after going to that event. Having said that, one little caveat, Chris Christie, the former New Jersey governor, Kellyanne Conway, the former White House counselor, Kellyanne Conway, being at that Amy Coney Barrett event, they are part of the president's debate team. And I suppose there is the potential that perhaps the debate team, the debate prep team, somehow got infected, and perhaps that is how this got started. We just don't know yet. It's being tracked down, but one theory, yes, that the White House is looking at is that it started at this Amy Coney Barrett announcement.
But the point I was trying to make.
Now let's take the message that he gave tonight. Oh, go ahead, Doc. Make your point.
I was just trying to say that we know that he was positive on Thursday, but what the White House has declined to tell us is when was the last negative test he had. The White House has been saying that the president is tested every day. I don't think that's true. I don't think the president is tested every day. And it's important for us to know when the last negative test was, because it sort of impacts how infectious he could have been on Tuesday when he was in the presence of the former vice president during the debate. So it would, I think, from a public health
and also just how much viral load. Right.
Exactly.
Right. In terms of his influence on others, that's one concern. With all due respect to everybody else involved, I think the biggest concern has to be his health. And the more you know about the testing regimen, the better you can surmise what kind of time span of viral load buildup we're dealing with here, which gives a different understanding to how his body's dealing with the virus overall. The sooner it starts to hit him heavy, that means his body is having a struggle. And again, this doesn't have to be dire. I got hit very hard early on in my exposure. So I'm okay now. I made it. Yes, I'm younger than the president, but he doesn't get sick a lot. And many people in his age, most overwhelmingly, make it through. But Doc, let me do something. I want to do a different exercise. Yeah. I want to take the video that we have from him, and I want to do it in chunks and go through what squares with our reporting, Jim, and what our understanding of the right clinical disposition. And we'll use this because we got to start moving from the he to the we. You know, the president being sick matters beyond Trump. It matters for this entire country. So here's his message broken into chunks. Here's the first chunk.
I want to begin by thanking all of the incredible medical professionals, the doctors, the nurses, everybody at Walter Reed Medical Center. I think it's the finest in the world, for the incredible job they've been doing. I came here, wasn't feeling so well. I feel much better now. We're working hard to get me all the way back. I have to be back because we still have to make America great again. We've done an awfully good job of that, but we still have steps to go, and we have to finish that job. And I'll be back. I think I'll be back soon. And I look forward to finishing up the campaign the way it was started and the way we've been doing and the kind of numbers that we've been doing. We've been so proud of it. But this was something that happened, and it's happened to millions of people all over the world, and I'm fighting for them, not just in the U.S. I'm fighting for them all over the world. We're going to beat this coronavirus, or whatever you want to call it, and we're going to beat it soundly.
A couple of quick things. Jim, when do we believe that this video was made? I know that the offering is to suggest that it was made tonight, but can we know that for sure?
Well, like everything around here, we may not know for sure because we're trusting officials who haven't always given us the best information. But hearing from a White House official that this was taped today, and the Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, my understanding, gave an interview this evening saying it was done a few hours ago. So we believe it was done today, and that is our best information as of this moment. I do think, just looking at the video, and you can tell that the president is sick. He does not seem himself. He seems sluggish. There is a political element to this. I think he's trying to assure his supporters that he's still, doing okay and fighting on. He's saying that I'm fighting for everybody else out there. But I mean, this is the president of the United States hospitalized with the coronavirus. There's just no way to spin this in a positive way, but I think that they're trying to make the best out of just a terrible situation.
Well, look, he seems good enough, but of course it would require that he got out of whatever they had him in the hospital and got redressed into basically what he had when he went in there. That's possible. It'd be unusual protocol, but this is an unusual situation. Now, doctor, he says, this just happened. No, it didn't. It happened because of what he wasn't doing. No matter what the testing protocol was, he wasn't wearing a mask, he wasn't socially distancing, he was putting himself in lots of positions that you guys say we absolutely should not be in, and that's important for people to understand. This was not inevitable, certainly not for the President of the United States. Fair point?
Right, and we've been saying this for a long time, that the President has been extraordinarily cavalier with his own protection, right? The President, has not insisted that, in fact, he's discouraged his staff from wearing masks around the White House. The president has steadfastly and famously refused to wear a mask in public. The president has tons of people in, business leaders, all kinds of meetings, all the time. What I tell my patients is that if you want to survive this pandemic and not get infected, make your viral footprint smaller. Go to the store once a week. Don't go every day, right? And what this president should have done from the beginning, and what his staff should have insisted, is that he only meet with people on a really needed basis, right? They needed to minimize his
Now,
need.
that's a good point, Doctor. It takes
Right.
us to the next part of the message. Takes us to the next part of the message that I want to play, and then I'll have you guys go on your way. I really appreciate this, Jim, especially the way you're grinding it around the clock and on a Saturday night. Let's just take this one other piece, because it goes to your point, Doctor, about what the message is that this country has to hear from the president right now.
I had to be out front, and this is America. This is the United States. This is the greatest country in the world. This is the most powerful country in the world. I can't be locked up in a room upstairs and totally safe and just say, hey, whatever happens, happens. I can't do that. We have to confront problems. As a leader, you have to confront problems. There's never been a great leader that would have done that. So that's where it is.
Now, doctor, I think this is an important moment.
Right.
What he did by confronting the problem is he didn't confront the problem. He denied the existence of the problem, and he invited people to do things that proved his point that you didn't have to be worried, when he really should have been shut up into the Oval Office, shut up into the White House, and showing people this is the way we do business right now until we get through this. It's a really important distinction. Even with him in the hospital, and again, wishing him well, people need to get the right message about that, don't they, doctor?
Exactly. Look, the president is an essential worker. The same way physicians are, and nurses are, and grocery clerks are, and bus drivers are, and school teachers are. And they're not locked up in their house. No one has told them to be locked up in their house. But what they do is the right thing. They put a mask on, they social distance, they take some hand sanitizer, and they do their best, and they take care of themselves, and they get the work done. And that's what the president should have done.
Yeah.
But he did not do that. He did not do that. Instead, he went out, discouraged mask use, and then held mass gatherings of unmasked supporters. He created the environment, culminating in that September 26th event in the Rose Garden.
Yeah, Chris,
that's what he did.
And hopefully now,
Chris,
go ahead, Jim, last word to you.
I was just going to say, I've been to so many of these rallies, and I was at his rally Wednesday night, and the folks who cover him on a regular basis, like myself, we have all been saying to each other, when is it going to happen? He keeps having these potential super spreader events. When is it going to happen? And as my mother used to say, you make your bed, you lie in it. And they are lying it at this White House tonight. Not only is the president struck with the coronavirus and in the hospital, the First Lady has the coronavirus, and now multiple administration officials, senators, members of the press are getting the coronavirus because of the irresponsibility that we see here on a daily basis. There's just no other way to put it, Chris.
Jim Acosta, Dr. Jonathan Reiner, thank you both very well. And for everybody at home, we can keep two thoughts in our head at the same time, which is, I hope the president wows us with his resilience and comes out of there in a quarter of the time that others do. Great. But at the same time, let where he is right now and how he is right now be a message. There can be no more debate about the right thing to do to protect ourselves from this virus. The president is the strongest proof that the message he was giving was wrong for him to give. Now, we got to keep pressing for answers. Why? We only have one president. And if the White House is continuing to not play it straight with us, we have to dig, because we all need the information. What should we believe, and from whom? More great minds on this true credibility crisis. Next.
Hello. Oh, it's me, Hank. There's some perfect. Stuck for shelf. I got all sorts of shit. Welcome, every. I think it's working. Welcome, sir, or resignate. It's always a mess. So be working on this Trump animation. Thought I'd put about an hour or two. Going for a little. I'm actually also investigating different audio sources for background music. Okay, Russian urge, whatever the fuck. Yeah, sir. Yeah, there it is. I'm just hoping that the dead guy's not for this commentary that you get watching a kind of content. Cool. All right. That's sorry. Oh God, this is all going on the internet. Something I need to. Can't just pull my snap like I normally do. I've got a voice filter microphone. Sounds horrible. I think it's not. Okay, I have a 8 thing. Hell, it's. I think I said. Hello, Eve. Thanks for signing. Thanks for logging on to the information superhighway. Hold on, I gotta mess around with this. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I might have. Tell it's not working. If my voice is. Oh, God. Voice gate off. That might be better. Yeah. Now, okay, it's just going to pick up more of the outside, the background noise. And I've got fans running because it's a roasting hot in LA. Saturday night, and we're animating viruses coming out of the president's face. So this is going to be fun. A younger me would have been out at the bars trying to find free beers by being funny to the bartender. That happened to, yeah, not really. You know, if you stick around long enough, bartender. Okay, why am I giving tips? Let's focus a little bit. If anybody wants to just check it out first, it's a good baseline here. I've rendered out a little bit of the animation, so let's watch it. Turn off desktop audio, just to make sure I don't blast people. Well, no, I'll leave it on. I'm going to see how it works. Okay. I will mute the Russian funeral dirge. They're probably going to get to the part where they start talking. Here we go. Okay. There it is. Think you get the idea? That flies at the camera. I could get real specific. I could give every virus its own personality. I could do all kinds of insanities. So let's see. Eve's headphones are being janky. Hang in there. And welcome back. No, you welcome back. Yeah, I just want to finish this animation, honestly. Like, it's been eating away at me all day. I've been farting around with other stuff. You'll notice in the video, you can see the pretty red rose. That's on purpose. So, as if it's an accident. But yeah, I was working on that today. And some other shit. And just kind of messing around with I loaded up yesterday's stream, which was over 4 hours, which is absurd. And a tiny bit of editing. It mostly needed a lot of sound attention because I didn't have the thing set up very well. And I learned a lot. And I think I gained a little, knowledge, which is the same as learning a lot. Actually, it's less. A lot of... Oh, okay. But, so no, it was good. It was a good part of the experiment was to see how this works within a production workflow as well. So, all right, enough rambling. I'm going to export it. It's probably going to take... Well, it's not... Okay, anyway, I'm starting to think about the codecs, but it takes a little while since it's 4 hours, so it'll have to run overnight and upload this stuff. So, okay. All right. Quit talking, Hank. Let's see where we are in the animation. So, yeah, we've got mostly here... I think I'm pretty good generally all the way up to the beginning. I'm sure when I'm ready to do the final export, I'll do another, like a full render and then just watch it. Or just multiple final exports, because most of the time, the chances that you're going to do this kind of stuff and then nail it on the first export is extremely unlikely, especially with this kind of, these many. Let me show you a little bit. This is how many layers there are. So each one of these is a virus. They're called virus 19s, and they're my children. Look, that's all of them. Look at oh, look at that one. See, this is kind of what I want to do Twitch for, because this right here is just like a whatever a meme is, right? It just goes. Yeah, see? I really just kind of, I think I'm done. Honestly, I think I found a glitch in the video game, and I'm at the final board, and I'm just holding up the hammer of doom or whatever that motivated me to risk all my turnip farm. Okay. Oh, man. All right, good. Cool. Let's get back to being professionals here, all right? I'll turn the music up a little bit though. Where'd that rush? It's just kind of nice. Uh-oh, they're talking. Oh boy. Settle down there, fellas. Oh man, they're touching a dead guy. That's fucked up, huh? Who would do that? Ugh, don't kiss him. Definitely not how Trump's gonna be buried. I don't think, especially if he succumbs to his own virus. It's going to be probably a closed casket. Maybe sealed away. Everybody stands 60 feet away. This is intense. Man, I didn't even know this was in this video. Eve says that's so many. Yes, it's a lot. I know it's a lot. And just learning how to kind of keep track of it all is a bit of a. You can tell it. You might get lost easily in these charts and stuff. You can do a hand there and climb around on it, scroll with the hand control. You can. There's all sorts of zoom functions, but yeah, I've done some other stuff. I tried to make videos for cats, trying to capture. Whoa, sound went away. Oh my headphones connection's not very good. Okay, yeah, I tried to make videos for cats for another YouTube project, and they're excellent. They're really charming and have a lot of life and a lot of heart, but they haven't found their audience yet. That's okay. The reason that came up is because I was animating little fish, and it was at least 4 times this many. It was just a gigantic pile. And then there's also ways of hiding them. There's a thing called shy layers. That's all these little fellas here. It's short for Shia LaBeouf layers. And you can even make, precompose layers into other precompositions. I don't know. Pre-comps, I guess, would be the word. And that's another. Okay. Talking way too much. So, stream's looking okay. Eve is speaking. Based on how comfortable his people are being close together, I'm not so confident his funeral would be distanced. Yeah, I know. That's actually that would be the comedic version where we try to like put a mask on his corpse, but his base just can't not get up close and get a little bit of that Cheeto powder makeup he wears on their lips themselves. I joked on Twitter that we'll know that he's back when he sets up an OnlyFans to sell his spit, because it'll become sort of a ritual. Like, are you proud of where you got your COVID? Yeah, well, I paid several $1,000s to get mine from the president himself. Let's be patriotic Americans and push hard on herd immunity, which is pretty much a guarantee if Trump gets into office. Unless a vaccine that actually works and is distributed properly, that is to say, for free to everybody, with safety and with science and data gathering, so we can respond because it's unlikely to be perfect. But of course, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a fucking mess. You should be able to trust your government, but you'd be irrational to trust this government, and it's going to be a terrifying thing having a Trump administration administering the second, hopefully, the landing phase. It's basically like we got to change pilots of this thing. He caught it. He got the thing. He's on fire. We should take away his fire department boss status. He stabbed himself in the eye. We should take him away. We should take him away from the job of chief eye stabber guy, preventer guy. You can't claim that you know how to manage a pandemic when you and all your friends and coworkers catch it. A person with more power than anyone in the world to keep himself safe. Granted, you can't just necessarily hole up and never go outside. His job requires probably more for, forward being out somewhat, more interaction with people. Except he's also got enormous power, incentive, and resources to make sure that he does it correctly and stays safe. People have been joking. I kind of made the joke that this is like if Obama caught the swine flu. But a better version of that joke that I've seen on Twitter is like, this is like if Ronald Reagan caught AIDS. That would have been really funny. I mean, in the middle of a tragic epidemic that he was ignoring because he was trying to score points with his rotten, immoral base that didn't see gay people as human beings worth the government's attention. And it was extremely costly for people's lives and suffering and dead people everywhere. Thanks, Reagan. Nancy Pelosi's favorite guy to quote. Okay. All right. Welcome. How many viewers are there? 2 viewers. Welcome, other viewer. More great life choices by you. I'm telling you. That underwear you wore today, never take it off. All right. Is this music annoying? Let me know, please. Checking. Eve says there are some hiccups with the current vaccine testing. Clearly, that means he has the most experience going through it. And isn't. Yeah, he's going to claim that this gives him authority over what to do. All depends on how bad it gets for him. Knowing this person, he's got some kind of like different stat stats in a video game sense. He rolled a whole different character than the rest of us. So he could conk over any day, or he could just like be one of these durable creatures that just can't be defeated, you know? Like it's hard to say. I would bet, I don't think he's, I mean, just by sheer probability, he's likely to survive it. But he's got, you know, whatever. This is the same thing everybody's been saying forever. How's our friends on CNN? I'm only doing CNN more, not because I think this is like the news or anybody should trust exactly what they say. You should ingest news as a kind of a information with a bias awareness metadata attached to it. Like news is, this is what CNN wants me to know. Somehow people believe that whatever they hear is supposed to be the truth. They like it. We want our biases to be reaffirmed and everything, but I don't know. I just don't look at news like that. I just go like, if I watch Fox News, which I don't do often, this is what Fox News wants their audience to know right now. Who owns Fox News? Billionaires and conservative whack jobs, and of course they're going to be incentivized. I mean, like you cannot, if you, anyway, all right, my God, I'm supposed to work on this shit. I do only want to do this. I might get to drawing a pig. I have to finish a pig for my woodworking video. Let's see, where is it? I know I have it. I got to get better at this. Just a quick look. There's the pig that I'll be working on. I need to redo the ears and the head. The eyes and nose are mostly done. I want to do a little more building around the face and probably a mouth, but I'm not going to do a mouth quite yet. I'm not animating that part. How do I get rid of, okay. Back to After Effects. Beautiful. Let's do some animations. Come on, Russians. Perk up a little bit. There we go. I want more orchestral sadness than brass. Let's listen to that shit. Drums and horns? Are you kidding? What is this, a Russian funeral? Well, now it just kind of sounds like like you know the part of the movie before the ghosts really all gather up for a fight? I suppose that's what a funeral is in a sense, isn't it? Okay, so Trump spits it all out. Final one goes up his nose there, although, so what I have to decide is, do I want to squirt a few more out here at the end? The nose one's kind of funny, though. I might just land it there. We'll come back to it. So we really just have this transition shot. So now we're going to be here. You can tell that the TV, this is either because of the frame rate lineup or the way that the TV had a built-in like two frame crossfade, which is probably a little bit smoother, subtle but smooth. So now we got to do some viruses like flying in at Biden. So let's see, do I have any that are like recent, like in this final few seconds that are on the way over? So we got, so like, yeah, that one, we want to do some continuity here. This is far more thinking than it needs. So 2 or 3. Okay. Man, is this the oh, they're just honking their boats. Jesus, no wonder. God, I was like, this is the most depressing. There we go. Let's watch them do this little march. Look at those hands. That just look like a whole cult of Mickey Mouses. Little cute little white gloves. Fun. All right, good. That is not the kind of orderliness and collective mindset I like to see. It's weird. I always, for these military things are goofy. I'm skipping around a bunch. Yeah, like that's fucked up. Who wants to see that shit? That's just old, like old stupid brain that goes, power requires the threat of violence. I think power should come from the promise of dignity. Whoa. Hire me, Pod Save America. You know, see, they have their like, you don't, yeah, it's all just, everything's just information. All right. Maybe we'll jump in on CNN at some point. but let's mostly just quit wasting time. All right. Okay. Okay. So we got a copy. I'm gonna just shift my body around just a touch here. It's my only exercise. All right. Where are we? Okay. Let's just copy 2 of them. I don't even know what their current level of instructions are. Nope, wrong one. Okay. So now they both start there. Let's just open them up. Why did... Oh, these are filling that space. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna bug me. You don't have... I'm doing... It's all chronological, but it does kind of make sense if you kind of physically group them, quote unquote physically. I just have to be careful about... Anytime you do anything with a big group, you just... The risk of screwing up becomes a little bigger because you screw up a big group. Oh, see, there's always undo, but so I'm just gonna do this a little bit until it makes sense within the pile. And then there's one. What the hell is that around? I must have just not. All right, this is good enough right there. That's about right. What the heck is this guy? Oh, it's off for some reason. Okay. Oh, I think I remember. And obviously not eating it. I didn't even need to check because if I would have turned that off at the beginning when I was thinking of like, I just know how I work. All right. Sorry, Eve. Let's check in on He hasn't defeated himself with his terrible diet. Yeah, I'm hoping that it just means his immune system sucks and that kind of thing. But he's getting the best treatment in the world. I don't know enough about either of those. The approaches they're giving him, but. Good thing he's got all that government-run healthcare to keep him alive. Woodworking. Yeah, I have a woodworking project called Bum Rush Industries. I'm going to make shit stools out of found furniture and sell them. Piggy's adorable. No, please, no nightmare ghosts. I know. The piggy's going to be... It's actually a hog, which will make sense if you ever see the woodworking video that I'm making. But I've only got one video up if you want to Google... or YouTube actually, balcony workbench Bum Rush Industries or balcony workbench blue dresser. No, old dresser. It'll be one of those search results. It might not be on the first page because it has very few views and very, very little attention so far, and YouTube doesn't really reward brand new videos with high placement, but if you're specific enough, you can. Okay, yeah, so these have to be flying in, and these are going to sort of dissipate because this distance, I've been having the viruses travel, but we've mostly had tighter frames so far. Getting a notice from Twitch. Okay, so these are going to be kind of like, they got to be a little small. Yeah, these are going to have to get bigger, I guess. We're all starting at 2. Just see the relative. Okay, since those start at 2, these should actually start. We'll make these 1. And I mean, depending on where I make it go, it's going to be a different story. So make this one 1, 2. And then we'll go 8. But I'm fading right there, so I don't want that yet. Okay. Problem is, I like to have them fade out like they die, but if I'm going to have them fade towards Biden and then get bigger because relative, like if something's traveling from Trump to Biden, it would get bigger. I have to then fade them out and have them die, meaning like, see, like that kind of, where it would die off. And that's too big anyway. 8's way too big, I think. I think like 4 or 5. Within 3 to 6 will probably be where I end up. So you see what I'm saying though? Like it fades. I actually think, okay, I'll explain that later. All right. Man, it's just crazy. The media just pours over every little detail. I mean, I guess it's important. There's other news in the world, and you know, everything with Trump just sucks the oxygen right out of the room. It's one of his ring wraith spells. All right, so I can just have him kind of flutter about the room a bit. They don't all have to be going at Biden, I suppose. I mean, it actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, I'm completely overthinking everything, so we can disappear behind Biden. That'll actually make more sense. Let's do. Okay. All right. I'm starting to get it. It's gonna be fine. So I just have a few. As soon as it cuts, actually, these need to be on the edit. I might even have to fade them in if they. So funny how it just kind of works. So this one is doing what? It's floating about. Nope, I don't want to change both of them. Yeah, I can just have them fly off in any old direction, I guess. That's good. Various air currents. Air moving around like vortexy fluids usually, right? Isn't that kind of more or less what air does? All right, 1.5 to keep you at 1. And I need to have, okay, yeah, actually this one's a bit more. Since Trump's fully in the shot, it's got to be like almost like all over the place, you know, like he just infests the air around him. And then we'll go back after. So I'll worry. I could spend time making each one pristine. But actually for these that are kind of near him, meaning like in terms of speed and distance. So if I just keep making, kind of do it in batches, you sort of go like, I'm going to do the placements for these next 5. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that these next 5, and I'll just work on their placement as far as origin points go. Oh, that'll grow it up big. Instead of, and then I'll go back and do another pass with a bit like a different priority, like more or less the speed and the distance. Okay. Ah, nope. Eve says, have you seen his suite at Walter Reed? I did. I bookmarked a tweet that someone posted. Probably gonna put it on my podcast or something next time I do it. I'm really liking this Twitch thing a little. It really is different. It changes the way you like emotionally approach this whole process. I kind of just the way I'm sort of envisioning things to do and fun, creative. I don't know, because you're programming a broadcast as opposed to recording something with the intention to edit. So that really changes the sort of way your mental part of that works. And anyway, I don't know. I'm trying not to. It's also nerve-wracking, and weird. And I'm trying to force myself out of my comfort zone a little more because if I don't make my comedy career work, I will have to work for some fuckface, and I don't want to do that. And I'm probably unhireable because I put videos of me on the internet saying I would have to work for a fuckface, which they don't like. They also don't like when you started a union at your last job. So, got to do it. All right, so, okay. But, oh, why am I? Yeah, so the pictures of Walter Reed, yeah, this immaculate. What the hell's going on here? I reversed, I flipped these two. Yeah, it's just this immaculate, amazing suite that just looks like this luxurious presidential suite. And music's getting loud, isn't it? Hold on. So yeah, it's just it's a crazy ass world where we pay for that. That's his government special health care, the king. And of course, you'd expect any country to have medical staff on standby for their president. I see what I'm doing here. Just really kind of messed this whole thing up. Talking too much. Like that's not. It'd be bizarre if there wasn't that kind of stuff, and I'd love it to see that and be like, yeah, of course the president deserves such a beautiful suite and all the best doctors and attention and research and, a different process for approving life's, they're going to take a different set of intervention. If they were presiding over a country where everybody else was taken care of and had good medicine, had good health care, and didn't have to be scared and worried all the time about this one I'm going to make really big. No, not yet. So I'm supposed to see origin. Okay. I'm not against the president having luxuries above the regular folks. I think it's kind of naive to expect that wouldn't just be the case. However, this country, they aggressively pass laws to make it so that your life is usefully desperate, and because you're stressed and worried and scared and you can't afford things, and you have student debt, and you have worries about environmental collapse, and you're all the greater and greater percentages of your income has to go to basics like rent, especially, but then health insurance and transportation, and like just the amount of inability. That means you have an inability to save, and you're just basically fed into the corporate wood chipper as a mineral or as a resource to be harvested. And the person at the top pays no taxes, and then they get this luxurious, amazing healthcare when they stab themselves in the eye with a Bic pen. It's disgusting. It's unjust and stupid, and just yet another indication of that this world, this country is not for regular people. It never was. If it was, we'd have much different voting apparatus. It's not. Oh, what am I doing? Why is that moving? Okay. All right. There's some soapbox rambling for you. How about that? Yeah. This one will go big. The big ones though, when I put that blur on there, even though it really works and I like it. What the heck? Okay, so let's just start it a little bigger. It just chews up the RAM, so I might hold off. I'll just have to make sure I somehow remember. I won't miss it if I forget it. So, Eve says, if even the target audience of that same hospital had good health care. Right. Like it is, yeah, if I understand what you mean, you're saying that that suite only unlocks for the president. And it's still a for-profit institution. I mean, I don't honestly know much about Walter Reed. I would imagine that all, even quote-unquote public hospitals have immense corporate enmeshment. But yeah, but it's still, nevertheless, so either way, any regular person who has to go through that system is just fed into the death panel-ification of private for-profit health insurance. You just can't have profit goes up when medical care goes down. That's just fundamentally at exact opposite of the ostensible reason you would provide health care at all, which is to make people better and whole when they're hurt or sick. I think we should have like rehab facility. I don't even mean like drug rehab. I just mean like university campuses that are for people to go take 6 months to just be unstressed for a while. Like literally, like I think we should do everything we can to make people's lives as stress-free as possible. And those who have issues need to be rehabilitated. And maybe there's can be some kind of counseling or some sort of therapeutic, and not, in the past, things have always been so authoritarian and dominating. I don't mean like forced or something like that. I just mean as like a privilege of living in a time when we have immense wealth as a collective, as a people on Earth. And plus, there's probably a good case to be made for degrowth, why we don't need to always be have this psychopathic need to expand every single metric of the GDP, no matter what. As long as the GDP goes up, we call that growth, but it's goes up from big pollution. It goes up for all sorts of things that are actually kicking the can down the road. And just pollution is essentially a cost that you are assigning to the future. Your debt is basically, or interest, I suppose, but you're basically saying someone born later will deal with this, not me. That's also kind of like littering. Littering pollution is on a very small scale. Littering is littering, throwing cigarette butts. These disgusting people that drop their cigarette butts wherever they want. They're just probably not thinking it, but it's the attitude of someone else will do this. I don't want to deal with it. Someone else will take care of this later. And mass pollute. Okay. All right. Jesus Christ. Can't we just enjoy some? Wait, am I still recording? I don't want to be recording this. Should I be recording this? I don't know if I should be. Sorry, I just noticed my software. All right, real quick comment from Eve. Let's see. I'm backing up a little. You say that the trick is to just have so much content that they'd have to wade through to find you calling them. Yeah, I know they'll never find. But then they'll just be like, "Why does this guy put so much out there? It's weird." Although I don't know if it's that much. I've been started as a stand-up, and then that kind of evolved into video stuff, and you sort of just branch out into whatever your comedic thing is available. And right now, no one can stop me from doing this. I'd like to write for like South Park or like a big show, or like I'd like to do that. But what am I saying? Oh, and I thought that the so I understood this impulse because I followed my nose into this weird forest of an entertainment career. And, but I thought I was different, not in like a special way, but I was like, me and the other comedians who I've become friends with, we're all just fucked up in a weird way that we need validation. And we're chasing whatever you'd say a dream would be, but I'd like to just make money being paid for my funny brain. The thing that kind of tortures me most of my life is this fucked up brain. It might not even be that fucked up. I probably just played it up. But, okay, let me focus here. Let me just get on point. Where did it go? Is that the big one there? Okay. So I thought there was something to like, well, just people who have chosen to pursue entertainment careers are like, have this impulse. But then the internet comes along. I mean, it had already been around, but camera phones and social media becomes much more around visuals because the camera quality just really changed dramatically. People can take incredible photos with no talent. Meaning that's not even the right way to say it. You used to need talent or get lucky with a film camera. But just the automation built into phones is incredible. So, which one am I working on here? I have it turned off. That's probably why I'm not seeing it. All right, I'll just finish this quick ramble and then move and try to focus. Because as it started to become, you see everybody chasing clicks and likes and making videos and thinking things are going to go viral and getting caught up in the kind of psychological, it's almost like they added a coefficient to the equation, sort of like the social dynamics are so deeply ingrained in our minds. But then phones come along and social media comes along and it all just gets a little screwed up. Like the physics just sort of change, and probably not for the better. I did hear something interesting. I don't have much, but someone pointed out that we don't dream about our phones, weirdly. Like we're also obsessed with our phones, and I don't know if that's true of others, but if you dream about your phone or not, I'm curious because I never do. I don't remember my dreams much, but you'd think that our dreams would be all about our phones. But anyway, so I this impulse to like put stuff out and get attention and get people to like it, and the disappointment you feel when you don't, and the addictive nature of the randomness of it, the kind of ways that you're sort of poked and prodded psychologically by this whole thing. I think everybody has a version of it a little bit. It certainly, whatever I thought made comedians, and I mean that broadly to mean actors, people that are pursuing Oh, the Russian guys are talking. Calm down there, fellas. Let's just rewind it. Obviously that's not as like unique as I thought. I think is basically it. Others have the potential for it, and some people probably just are mostly befuddled by it, and that's partially why I'm doing the woodworking thing. I'm curious. I want to try to like do something that's not always staring at a computer screen, because I think it's causing my body to just become like hunchbacked, and I know it's bad for your eyes to never look at something that's not it's just a thing. Did you look up the woodworking video, by the way, Eve? Just curious. Sorry here. Okay. Funny story. This is from Eve. Our local hospital had to reopen 2 elective surgeries in order to continue funding in order to continue funding their pandemic and emergency chronic medicine. Yeah. Because those are from people that they can afford to charge a lot of money. And not a lot of poor people going in for those kinds of elective surgeries. So yeah, it's just such a strange way to do it. If it's not strange if you understand the notion that they want to exclude dignity from everybody. They want to maintain power in as small hands as possible, and that means keeping as big a group as possible stressed out and over. Okay, whatever. You get it. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Eve has a degree in neuroscience and a degree in psychology, so I have the official. Oh man. She says my brain is pretty great. Good brain is working hard. It's working a lot. I don't know. I sometimes feel like it's a very problematic brain and full of tornadoes of thoughts and emotions, but then I'm also like, maybe I'm just as basic as every other dumb idiot in the world. I don't know. I feel like I hate the I don't know. Maybe not though too. I hope not everybody has a brain like mine. I can't. It just never stops. It's just I can't. It's just I feel like it's like a race car is the analogy I've used. It's like it has a very fast motor that I think in some situations is pretty interesting. Maybe, as I know I'm giving myself, but like once you take the race car off the racetrack, you're just like now you're stuck with like the wrong tool for the rest of it. So it's like, I mean, not that you couldn't take a NASCAR vehicle to McDonald's like I did tonight for dinner. I mean, I took my Prius with leather seats. She did a quick Google search, but I'm on my phone. It's late night, so I just left it for tomorrow. Okay, you can look up the woodworking tomorrow. Yeah, you can find it on YouTube's app. I've done that. Yeah, balcony-sized workbench would be a term that you should look for. And it's kind of a brown, sort of brownish with blue lettering thumbnail. But yeah, good luck. Hope you find it. I should put links in this Twitch stream. I put a ton of effort into the videos, though. Honestly, they take a shit ton of editing. I've got about 6 months of footage filmed, and I'm just really focusing on it. Well, then this Twitch shit came along. Now I'm also okay. Let's get focused here. So we need to pull back. I really want to be done with this. I'm probably only going to go for another 20 or 30 minutes, to be honest. Virus. So virus. First one there starts there. Okay, as long as these are different, that means I've worked on them. So these two are the same. Okay, so the two middle ones. All right, so yeah, I must have duplicated this one here. Let's put one up that's like already really close. That'll be kind of cool. Change the color real quick. Brown. Which is the other one that gets big? Oops. Nope. All right. Make these two will be brown. The two browns will be the biggies. This is going to require a blur. So yeah, let's start it like there. That one will need to start blurred up. Okay, so it'll be like I'd have an easier time if I turned off the render or the animation of each one. I could do that by putting a hold frame on this I think a free, yeah. Well, the animation's built into the frame. Okay, I know time remapping, I think. Freeze frame. There it is. So now it won't move, and the computer doesn't have to do the math on all those pictures. It's been actually handling it pretty well, so it might not even make a noticeable difference. See how they don't move? See, this still would have been an okay animation without it moving. But I used Character Animator lets you add physics and dangle points, so you can do a lot with the way the tentacles kind of wiggle around if you bother with it that much. All right, cool. So these two. All right, so it's gonna cut. I mean, they'll be blurred. I don't want. What I want. Yeah, you know what? I don't like this big one up here because it takes away. I don't want people's attention to miss all the little ones. I kind of feel like it's in fact okay, but I do want to keep it because it is. The real world would be sort of sloppy like that. Like there's an authenticity to it being not perfect. I'm sure people will notice that when they're watching this on Twitter. So I'm just going to have it just a little bit off. Camera blur. That's... There it is. Let's see. Oh, Eve does dream about her phone. About chasing her cat to record her antics. Oh. So you dream about your camera. I'm not saying that to try to just... Yeah. You're also young. You must be in your mid-20s, right? So you've had fun. Like, I'm just old enough to have been born on the other side of the phone cusp. So I remember when I was a kid, we used phone books, and like it wasn't even they weren't even dying. It was like still peak phone book, where they doxed everybody in town and gave you a book of all their phone numbers and addresses. It's just so bizarre to someone younger. So so I didn't, I was already out of college before there were cameras in phones. I think there were rudimentary cameras in some of the early phones, but no one used any of the shitty early cameras. Quick, I remember using phone books as weights. Yeah, they're ridiculous, but it also makes sense given the context. Did you specialize in any neuroscience? I am closer in age to Danielle's older son than I am to her. Probably. But but that teenage period kind of really is the threshold, isn't it? Cognitive neuroscience. Okay. Very cool. All right. Trying to think of anything smart to say. All right, let me just focus a bit here. Okay. So we'll have... Oh, yeah, I was blurring this guy. It's going to already be blurred. No, it didn't. So we'll see it on screen for just a little quick moment. Yeah, that's fine. That's a bit much, actually. Let's go 80. Oh, I accidentally clicked on reset. Okay. And it should be fading right around that too, since it's... It's weird that it's not moving. And maybe a little quicker, since things start to speed up the closer they get to the camera. Still not fast. Oh, I'm changing the time on the wrong one. No wonder it's not. Okay, all this has to... Okay, now it's going to be different. Yeah, just a little tiny little touch. In fact, it's already so blurry. We'll go, I'm sure that didn't do anything, but okay. Next one will blur radius of 0, and then to 60. There it goes. Well, it'll be kind of blurring up pretty quickly. See, it's taking a bit of time to work on that. So I'll turn it off for a moment. And then the other, so these 5 here. Let's just focus in on this actually. Eve only did human subjects research because little fuzzy animals are too cute to kill. You're okay killing the humans, huh? Not do you shave them first so they're not fuzzy? I joke. I know you don't murder humans in neuroscience class, but you can get, if you dissected a brain and or cadaver, or are you still yet to get to that if you're going to get your PhD? I know that eventually you do that, right? Oh, maybe you have. I didn't even read your other comment. Now I do historical research, so I don't even need to see human brains anymore, which is good because yuck. A sheep brain? Well, let's be honest. You've done a sheep brain, you've done a human brain. I mean, come on. We all know what era this is. Fun. Yeah, I mean, everything's just kind of gross meat on the inside, isn't it? Yeah. Historical research is, yeah, that's cool. Were you drawn to historical research because it was, like, did it have to do with comparing it to the more grisly side of some of the sciences, or just that it just has you're more comfortable with your nose in a pile of books and a bunch of old computer records than bubbling Erlenmeyer flasks of bright green fluids? You know what I mean? Like the different sort of interfaces that scientists have with their sources of data. That's actually okay. It's a little bit fast. So some of these need to be changed out. It's kind of fun when the little ones sort of like linger about in the air, like persistent flies. So you should never get married near flat ground. Always in the mountains. Less mosquitoes. Uh-oh. Come on. Okay. And those are just the starter ones. So I got to have more spitting out. And let's turn on this guy there. Okay. I want to do this one. Where is it starting from? Let's have it start there. Eve says, apparently I'm really good at it. I'm also very squeamish and tired of fainting. Tired of fainting. That could be the title of a book. Tired of fainting. One woman's metaphor, or one woman's memoirs through a 45-year career as a open wound doctor. I don't know. I was trying to think of I was thinking of all sorts of genital jokes, and I was just filtering those out. Not going to say them. The funny part about that is that tired of. Okay, why am I? So yeah, I'd be tired of fainting too. You must have some experience fainting, which is no fun. And yeah, she says history's filled with drama. It's pure drama. Yes, a book about hysteria for sure. I know exactly what you're referring to. Those fainting couches of Vienna. I don't know exactly what you're referring to, but yeah, fainting's no fun. Have you fallen? Like you've been in class or something, and you're the person who collapses and creates a ruckus? Nothing better than a good class ruckus. Oh, his hands move, so that's obviously, that's got to be... Okay. Yeah, man. All right. I got a good one for that. Here we go. So, let's see. All right, so right as his hands hit it, they go... Whew. So as he's whipping up, we'll start one there. So we'll have him fling a couple off. I could do it when he ends his hands, but it would really be more because you decelerate before you stop. I'm totally overthinking it. Uh-oh, not that. Why is it what the button? I don't know. All right, where are we at? Okay, so start one there. Uh-oh. Eve is saying, let's see, walked out on a couple different lab tours, but I usually just got dizzy. Yeah, the almost, I mean, yeah, you kind of know you're about to faint and, you know, take quick action to, you know, get some water, get away, sit down or whatever. Yeah, it's probably a lot more near fainting than actual just like lights out fainting. I did research with humans, this is Eve again, humans with epilepsy where they were coming out of brain surgery. Wow, that's intense. I very carefully stayed far away from their heads and kept close to the computers. Oh, I see. Yeah, those brain surgeries are something else. That's an amazing that any human being has the gumption to be like, yeah, I'll cut your head open, and you'll pay me $100,000 to commit incredibly precise violence on you, and it will be consensual, and you will be better when I'm done sawing apart your skull. Like that's a pretty cool statement. Like I would say my only thing anywhere not even close is like I'll stand on stage in front of hundreds of people and make them laugh and expect them to pay me for the privilege. I haven't done stand-up in a while, so I probably would fuck it up right now, but that doesn't bother me whatsoever. That's fun, and that's not something most people would feel comfortable trying to do. But surgery is just insane. And see, it's going to be like, this is not going to animate. Getting way too distracted, of course. I think animation is so many little details. Standing on, and then also Eve says, standing on stage is also absolutely terrifying. Yeah, I know, but you can say funny stuff and then they laugh. and that's like an incredibly powerful feeling. It's fun when it works. It's horrible when it doesn't. I've had it not work, but okay, those get a little big. I've had it not work a lot. Yeah, it's brutal, but that's one thing you learn. Is like, they're not gonna remember that part. You're just embarrassing yourself publicly. It's fine. It's not killing you. But I would be very comfortable at giving speeches. Like if I somehow had to do speeches for a career, or if this, I don't know how this becomes speeches, but like if somehow I mean, stand up, yeah, I'd love to do stand up again. But like if it's, I'd be like, yeah, are you kidding me? A speech is easier than stand up, and a speech is, there's no expectation that you're going to say any funny shit, and then you come out with some stand up quality humor, and man, look out. Look out. Save me a tray of honeydews, because I am raiding the snack dish at the TED Talk. Oh, that's ridiculous. All right, that's a little better, actually. Those are a little on the slow side. Yes, animation's all little tiny details. I could see, I don't like the way that curves. I was thinking it would. You know what? Okay, hold on. I'm also, since I'm so distracted by Twitch streaming that it's hard to kind of get into the rhythm and start to really focus. So I'm cooking up ideas too for that, where I'm just going to be like, play some music, and just like, it's not always going to be Russian funeral music. Let's jump ahead here. No, that's right. Now they're outside showing everybody their guns. And then just like make sure that it's clear, like I'm not going to talk. Like this is just focus time. Because I think there's something relaxing about these little tutorials, sort of. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like that they separate. That sort of. It's a little bit more how something would fly. But it's an amazing, like it's an incredible amount of detail that you have to pay attention to. So now his other hand. So these could go right into the camera. I think that might be kind of cool. Let's try it. Those are always kind of, I don't know. Nah, fuck it. It just takes too much farting around. I just want to kind of burn through it a little bit. But these will be a little bigger. These will go from 2 to 4. And yeah, it's not going to just go straight back like that. So I think we actually do need to go. Okay, so yeah, we'll give it the old brown designation. And 20. Turn off that. Let's copy effect from the other one. So now pull the play radius. Oh, I didn't have a. So it's going to start at 0 and hit the camera really fast. This one's going to be kind of a fling. So yeah, that's sort of okay. We'll go 110. Put a couple frames. I want it to be getting bigger though, because it's really pretty straight on. 40, it's huge. Eh. All right. Quick change. This will be somewhat fast. Nope. I like when it kind of hits the threshold up sort of near the top and then like kind of takes a quick rapid turn as if it's being driven away by the gas, the air vortexes, the curvature of the air around the camera lens. So this has to get up there a little quicker and then it'll snap right out of frame. That's really going to be ridiculously fast. So come on. Let's see what else. So Eve says, yeah, standing on stage is terrible. Yeah, it's yeah. I remember my first open mic ever. I hadn't been on stage since I was a kid. I did a play, and then I was 29 years old, and I was getting ready to go do an open mic, and that was terrifying. I was utterly couldn't believe I was doing it. Yeah, there's more. I could try to talk about that for 20 minutes. I'll pay you in free catered food to give my speeches at university governance meetings, so I can hide in the corner. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll just wear your glasses, or if you have glasses, or I'll wear your shoes and your clothes. Hi, it's me, Eve, on Twitch. So, like, funding is cool, you know. It's like without it, you know, we all kind of, vacation. All right, let's have this fade a little quicker too. Too quick. All right, I'll fart around with that later. So I'm okay with this, really. It's so he whips his hands up. Right there. There we go. Now we're back to the classics. All right. Make sure we're small. 1.5 to 1.5. Whatever. Let's say 2. Okay. Man, it's way smaller. Oh, it's at, what the hell? We'll go actually 0.7. I think that's what I was doing. Okay. Eve says, listening to you talk through your work is definitely good chill background. Okay, good. You do have glasses, and I'll dress you in all black. Yeah, we can get like a onesie, a black onesie, but we can print you on it. You know, like a skeleton costume, but it'll be you. And they'll never know. I'm sure I'm 6'3". I imagine you're probably smaller than I am. So yeah, that'll be fine. I can do a girl voice. I think you'd have to raise your voice instead of deepening, unless you really think I'm just that bassy. No, I doubt you're I don't think. But I'm glad you're, even with the little muttering, is the microphone picking that up? And do you have background sounds? That's what I had to turn off at the beginning, was the kind of thing that like sets up thresholds for the audio, and I just didn't have enough time to fart around with it to dial it in. So I appreciate that feedback, because this really would be just that for about 2 or 3 hours of me just talking to myself, doing that. That one comes out quick. Because I kind of want this to sort of, I've been watching some of the other shows. Okay. Oh, and you're not, okay. But you hear the music, yes? No? Thank you for the feedback that you only hear my voice. That's good. I had to get rid of some background noise on the yesterdays. But anyway, I've been watching these other shows. The Surfs, really good. Like, this guy, and oh, shit. It's another, fuck, what's the other name of the show? The other one of it I was just watching. He's a Sam Cedar call-in guy. He's Mike from PA. He's good. And these guys have been doing it for a little while. And, well, I mean, what, like, I don't know how many years or something. But, it's kind of interesting to just, there's someone just sort of chills and they're just sort of showing you what their experience is on the internet and commenting on it. And I think I kind of can see why that's appealing, and how you can either want to watch that or make stuff like that. But I'm sort of hoping to engineer a little bit more of a peaceful place. Just in terms of like the graphics and the music I'm going to be playing, and this animation is sort of a meditative activity once you sort of like click into the right brain space where it starts to really flow nicely. All editing kind of is. It's also sort of laborious and tedious too, but once you actually start getting into the, like, is this making sense? Is this part, am I telling a story? You know what I mean? Like, I like the narrative. That's the stimulating part about it. I honestly hate video. I fucking hate it. I don't want to sit in a chair, but I like being able to put together interesting stuff better than, you know, nobody would have done it as much as I had if they really truly despised it. But all right, so all right, I gotta back my head up a bit. Oh, what the hell? That's why was that off? Okay, so this will go down. go. A couple of fast ones. Let's do 1, 2, and then these will be slow. I want one of these to like whiz around and no. We'll go there. Just try. Oh, okay. So here's an interesting illustration. You see these dots? Each of these dots is literally a frame as far as After Effects. Well, I mean, literally for After Effects. And so as I change the space, no, the temporal location of a frame, like here, the dots will change. You see how the dots start to gather? Now, because there's like 4 dots or whatever, 1, 2, 1 frame, 2 frame, 3 frame, 4 frame, that corresponds with these frames here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then all these dots are all these frames. And if I were to put this in the dead center, I would have equal numbers of frames on both sides. But in terms of spatial differences, though, the dead center is actually somewhere around there, right? You can see the spacing between the frames. After Effects has a built-in tool or option to automatically find that perfect part, because it knows you often don't want your thing to change speed randomly. Like if it were to do this, it would be slow and then boom, it'd be fast. You might want that, but you can do rove across time and it puts it perfectly. It changes it. Although I didn't want that first one to move, so I think I need to do it like this. Yeah, there we go. And so now every single dot is perfectly spaced exactly the way it should be. I think that stays persistent if you move it around. So yeah, those are the sort of like little weird nuances you develop over an understanding of over time. Because you make a little project, you realize you need to figure it out, and you Google it, and then you have some more knowledge. That's how it goes. Okay, that's fine. That one is actually like, that's the smart one. Like as far as smart as a virus could evolve intelligence and from one to the next, that was the good one. Checking in on the chat. Thanks for hanging out, Eve. Is there anybody else? How many viewers are there? I can't tell. Where do I go? I think there's a place. I don't know. Is it not in OBS? I guess not. Oh, you do not hear music. Okay. Yeah, I've got it feeding. I'll turn it up just a touch. Maybe. Can you hear that music now? It should be like orchestral. You probably can hear it just barely. I wish there was a way to like. It's okay. I'll play with it more. It's actually pretty good software. I don't expect it to all work out for me to just have I have a pretty short learning curve with most programs like this because of all this other experience, but so I'm confident it'll all be second nature before long. All right. There you go. Okay. This one will go out. Oops. A good mouse is very important. My mouse is about $80. They get a lot more expensive than this one. It's got a bunch of other buttons. I changed the DPI on the. It's a Logitech kind of a fancier mouse. But being able to like quickly get your mouse around the screen is obviously kind of important. But it's like literally like a thing. Like, a lot of people don't even give a shit whatever mouse they get. But for an editor or any person who needs a computer a ton, I suppose would care. But this stuff. All right. Okay, so let's find another one. Okay, so this is like the grisliest editing. Wait a minute, no, I did it wrong. All right, perfect. Do stagger him a little bit. Oops, wrong one. Okay. Yup. I think that means yes to the music. DPI button on my mouse and start. Yeah, the panic and boss fights. My roommate's done. I've never done DPI changes in a game. I know he has for some, like, yeah, where it makes a difference. I mean, I guess with like Rocket League, I've done sensitivity. So, I mean, there's like all sorts of little settings. So same kind of thing overall. But yeah. Feels like Donald Trump is like the ultimate boss fight. The world is just like, all right, Earth, this really the route you want to go? We're going to put all the things that can be weird about somebody, all the distortions, and it'll be deeply rooted in the ways human beings can abuse each other on small and big scales. A family of straight up racist grifters. Donald Trump was forced into a career of crime by his father. His father used him as a 3-year-old to sign up for tax scams. Just having a social security number you had power over. He, you know, so it, and then you know, I could ramble, but it's just such an unlikable kind of thing. It's just like, is this really we're gonna just set the world up for people like this, and for people who think that this kind of behavior is okay, is like decent and something that we should encourage and reward with status and privilege and immense wealth and power? And they're out actively hurting people, telling others to go out and hurt people. But I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of time left. It has a very like too on the nose kind of villainous quality, I guess. All right. So when he goes out, oh yeah, so look, he puts his hands out. I should probably do a flick right there. Man. And then down, maybe another one. But let's, before we do, you know what, we'll do that really quick and then we'll come back to that. We'll get a couple more within this little stretch and then I'm going to call it quits at 9. I don't want to do this anymore. I could yeah, I don't know. I could probably just keep going for hours, because sometimes if I get obsessed with a project, I'll just not stop till it's done or but there'll probably be a day when that happens. He has his mouth open a bunch there. He's probably breathing in, which would be a good opportunity for, let's see. Just do one more at that moment. Have it go. Eve is talking about her base painfully bad sensitivity. Yeah, base settings. Yeah, I get you. It's just one of those things. If it happens when you don't want it to happen, when your mouse DPI changes, screws everything up. She says here, people who agree with that behavior are the ones ruthless enough to get to keep power by knocking others down. So it makes sense they end up at the top. In capitalism, of course, they're usually smarter and more competent. Yeah, there's a lot of really smart, competent sociopaths and just regular folks that are just sort of, you know, this is the system we live in. So you're going to just produce people that are inculcated with its principles and values. It doesn't make them bad people. Part of the whole argument about why we need to move on from capitalism is that it's not working for them either. We're literally killing the planet. That's one big argument. But, you know, suicide rates are going up, addiction rates go up. Just people are miserable. People don't, it's just, everything is in conflict with human instinct. That's my summary of it all, is that we're challenging our instincts more than our instincts can bear. And there's, you can do it to some degree. I think human beings are crazy adaptable, but it just doesn't work. It depends on what your goal is as far as that statement. What works? What does that even mean? But yeah, people that you know, how do you not? You know, it's so woven into the fabric and into consumerism and all the ways that we're kind of conditioned to think of ourselves as valuable based on how we're able to consume, and whether we show that off too by, you know, the way people dress and stuff, or, you know, going out of your way to make sure people can see that you have resources through various ways of doing that. Like when I go out to the store, I wear the same low-cut socks I've been wearing for 2 weeks. No, or the same cargo shorts I've been wearing. And I want everyone to know, these are Bugle Boys. They might even be Sonoma. Honestly, I have no idea. But I want the world to know that I am rocking some serious haute couture. All right, so let's see. Here he goes. Mouth open for a little while, which means... come on, Hank, think it through. There it goes. Boom, boom. So this guy gets deleted. Delete. Probably pull you back. Off by 1. All right. And then... yoink! It's easy ease it. Same with this. This guy goes yoink. No. I don't want the other. Come on, don't make me do it. Ugh, come on. There. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Easy ease. It's like they're stuck. It's like they're caught. It's like Star Wars trying to escape the tractor beam. Fun. All right. You know what? I'm going to change the music. I'm going to try this. This website I signed up for, this is going to cost me $15. But that's okay. Royalty free is such a bitch. I get a 30-day free trial, but I think I have to pay for it at least once, unless I don't know. I'm going to, no matter what, is what I'm saying. Yeah. Here's what's about to happen. I'm gonna change to some shrimps and feed them. Not the full. It'll be a different kind of food. And then I'm gonna figure this out, and then I will have some music for the rest of the final 10 or so minutes. All right, we're feeding the shrimp. All right, you ungrateful piece of shit. This is what you get. Can't believe I have to feed you. This eats into my profits, you little fuckers.
Его принципиальные установки оказали огромное позитивное воздействие на развитие социалистической демократии. Как верный продолжатель великого дела Ленина, он внес большой творческий вклад в развитие марксистско-ленинской теории.
All right, let's enjoy the shrimp eating food. It should be falling down. There it is. Aw, aren't they cute? Okay, enjoy that. I'll be back with different music. Wow. Wasn't that lovely? Music for the sensitive souls of the world. Hey, it's Delilah. Give me a call. Let me know what your fucking boyfriend is up to. That piece of shit. I'm sure our viewer won't understand my Delilah. Eve, do you get the Delilah joke? I've been writing that for years. I finally got to say it. No, I'm just, what's more embarrassing? Writing? Okay. Improvising or writing? Okay, whatever. Why? All right. Yeah, so we got some pretty tunes playing. Of course, I don't really have the mix all that well sorted out since I can't really review it real time. Oh, all right. Yeah, I bet Delilah just is around way longer than I assumed. Like, as if because I stopped listening. I don't say I was ever a listener. Why am I embarrassed if I were? I wasn't. I'm more embarrassed so I used to listen to Adam Carolla. Yeah, just like because I stopped listening, she stopped existing or something like that. But that's just ridiculous. This is some Delilah-ass fucking shit, isn't it? All right. Let me know if that sounds off. Volume, voice to music. And if I'm going to err on the side of caution for music, I'd rather be too quiet than too loud. Because that's how people work. All right, let's... Okay, he sucks in the viruses, and those are the ones he's saving for Baron. I should put names on everybody who he's giving the virus to. Oh, yeah, like a cast. Like a credits roll with okay, that's a good idea. I like that. I'm not gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna make a note. Hold on, I gotta write that down. Otherwise, I will frequently forget shit. Like, oh fuck, I didn't change the thing. Sorry. Coming back. There we are. Okay. I don't think it really mattered. I wasn't really doing much. Cast of virus animation starring the people Trump killed. Okay. All right. Very good. Mike Judge follows me on Twitter. It'd be weird if he tuned in and this is what he got to watch. This guy's like my fucking idol. It's crazy. Okay. Yeah, so as soon as he pulls them in, though, they've got to come right back out. See, that's just the whole point of this. That's not a... It just is like a, you know, regurgitating a clown vomiting in your face. You just got to spit it right back. Let him know who's boss. Although, to be honest, if a clown vomits in your face, that's probably your boss. To get to that point. Okay, so he's going to come back out. Which means we're going to take that. We don't have their destinations. Oh, wrong one. Okay, there's a faster way to doing that. Hold down control or something like that. But I don't know what it is, so sometimes you guess and it's just like you just nail it, but a lot of times just fart around. Might as well just do it the slightly slower way that you already know. That's one thing about these kinds of big programs. You can learn new shortcuts any day. I could improve my editing with just an hour of YouTube tutorials or a weekend if I really, you know, there's no shortage of information. Okay. Eve's heading to bed. Thanks, Eve. Have a lovely evening. I'm almost done too. As soon as I'm kind of finished with these two, I think I'm just going to do a render and check it out. I've distracted myself talking and blabbing and enforcing discipline among my ungrateful workforce. I mean, my shrimp. And, you know, I'll get more efficient at like these sessions. This is all just sort of experimental. I just nodded at the microphone. All right, let's get this backed up here so I can have the. They got to come out flying though. That's the whole thing. Just whoosh. Do you reinfect yourself? I mean, the virus grows inside you. Maybe I'm just... And it forms... It just starts being expelled while also some of the new ones stay in. I guess that's what I'm wondering, right? This music, come on. Here's another one. Let's see how this one sounds. I have no idea what music. I mean, it's a mood called Small Emotions. Okay, so boom comes flying out. Scale goes. Yeah, okay, that's fine. The other one, yeah, the top one, we'll have this one even faster and bigger. Just this one will just kind of like whip towards the camera with a little more. Whoa, nope, too early. I mean, I did both. It's funny. Like the bottom one, sorry, this one here is still on screen when the other one is off screen. But it's traveling a shorter distance, versus this one that goes further to here. And it makes sense, because if you were to like, you want to sort of like in the real world, that's how it would be because of perspective or however that shakes out. Yeah. Turn the music down just a touch right there. Okay, God, I'm so close to being done with this. So those come flying out. But I'm also like out of... I need a constant cloud, and I need a few... Maybe a couple longer ones. They're like... started a little earlier, and they're attacking Biden. Okay, so like... Yeah, right off of that throw, I think. Right there. Which one? Okay, duh, it's the brown. Alright. So... Yeah, but this one's gonna... I want this one to kind of take its time. Nope, that's the blur radius. I want position. So... How about just a classic loop-de-loop? Everybody loves a good old-fashioned... Uh-oh, shit. Crap. Good old... Ah, for God's sakes, I'm trying to do a drag move that you do in Photoshop. That's where my brain's going. I have to know different hotkeys for... I try to do them similar, but mostly I just let them be... They're fairly different for After Effects, Premiere, Photoshop. Those are like my three. Definitely Premiere and Photoshop are like my main kind of editing things. After Effects I'm okay at, but I know just enough to know how little I know. It is so amazing what some people can do with this program. But I'm good enough at it not to be too bogged down, and I've done some pretty decent animation projects in After Effects. So, but Premiere and Photoshop, I would say I know even better than After Effects by quite a bit, actually. So, it's a weird thing to ramble about, I think. I don't know. Oh, hotkeys. That's what I was saying. I'm starting to learn the Audition hotkeys, which is good because I'm first started podcasting using Audacity. Oh shit! See, I made a mistake. Didn't need that. Okay. This one will always be, this one will be kind of living with us for quite a bit. Even longer, actually. Let's... Yeah, see, so the rove across time is built in now. So no matter what, it's always going to maintain even spacing, which is a handy little thing. Yeah, so now... Oh, see, duh. There's a cut. Genius. All right, so back up one frame. And it does need to die off. It's going to stay little. Here's the scale. So what do we got? 4? Whoa, 40? Wait a minute. Oh. I did not mean for it to be such a bigger... Okay, well, we're getting rid of that. Maybe a little camera lens blur. Let's see. 20. Because it's going to be heading in Biden's direction. So it comes off at 1.5. Make it 1.2. Yeah, not 20. Not 40. 4. Oh, yeah, it's that same thing where let's keep it smaller. All right, it's taking forever because it's trying to blur one of these little ones. Let's kill that music a little bit. Nice. How was that? Twitch, this is the thing. Twitch needs to calm the fuck down. That's my first feeling watching this stuff. Not to say everybody needs to change. Of course, that's ridiculous. I don't really mean that. People are doing incredibly well, and not just in terms of money. I mean, like, they're just, people are connecting, building communities, and, you know, I'm not saying anything about changing, but it's nice to take a break and just have a little music play, right? Maybe not. I'm not sure I would even watch a channel like that. But I want to, like, I feel like I could use these longer kind of random streams and have almost like a score that we sort of just improvise as we go through it. Maybe we feel like having fun. I don't know. That's something I'm thinking about right now, that I've got this music library that I can play around with a little bit. Okay. Ramble. But by calm the fuck down, what I mean is, like, maybe sometimes we'll just put on the red flower and just let that thing move back and forth. And, you know, it has to sort of fit. It has to be a complementary flavor to other stuff I'm doing, right? Like, if I'm in the middle of like a highly produced video thing that I made, or some sort of, you know, whatever, and then suddenly doing that wouldn't make sense. But if it's sort of just like kind of a lazy drawing, chatting, talking, and then every once in a while I need to make a couple deposits in the deposit closet, it's okay. just calm down. I'm trying to do that. For God's sakes, why am I... Okay, what's going on here? I thought did I not? I just explained it, but I thought it meant I turned it off. I'm stupid. Thought maybe I can... Oh, I see. It's still building. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna delete it. Now it'll yeah, see now it renders. Alright. Okay. I'm not gonna do any more, but we are gonna let it build up a bit. Let's just see how far back we are. Oops, what the hell did I just do? I think I saved it. I've become stuck in my undo redo loop because I think I saved. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all I did was save it. Let's just maximum redo. So okay. See, it's so easy to just hit a button and then all of a sudden everything's screwed up. So let's go back. Look at that. Ah! Look at these little monsters coming out of him. Why is that so funny? There he goes. Roar! Whoa! Just castly upon them. Like, it's almost like he just impregnates his followers with like permanent virus dipshit brain. Like, who believes this guy? Who thinks this is the person that should be forming your reality? And I don't even. The next step of that thinking is, well, what went wrong? Like, obviously this is not the leadership in any circumstance other than to pick a fight and cause chaos. And so what the fuck went wrong that so many people are, one, incapable of detecting that he's a con man? There's certain blockages to the way they process information. Not blockages isn't fair. I just mean like different software, I guess. Like things have been instilled in them that prevent them or either from changing or being open to change and that kind of stuff. So something went wrong. Or two, I kind of forgot. What were they so angry at that they are not able to focus correctly? Like, we need to be angry at the people who are in charge. Duh. And Guatemalan women crossing the Mexican desert to try to flee horrific domestic issues, that aren't completely disassociated with American foreign policy, aren't in charge. So somehow people are incapable of directing their anger correctly. And that makes them susceptible to bullshit and being tricked into these movements and funneled into them. And they're not wrong to be angry. They just don't know where to direct it. And it's not, and once you give them an answer, once you fill that targeting, you can focus all that energy into nefarious purposes. And it can also be focused into good purposes. And that's sort of the competing ideologies are sort of just like vying for who has greater influence. And one side is a lot less willing to use violence and a lot less forgiven for using violence. Violence is so built into the American psyche. It's one of our greatest privileges, is the right to have a tool that you can use to threaten someone with violence. So we automatically think of problems solving as a function of violence. Not for everything, obviously. I'm just saying, like, versus a society that didn't have a Second Amendment, where and especially within the last few generations, because there's Second Amendment, or it wasn't a fetishized like thing to the modern American right-wing conservative movement. It was fairly tame overall. As far as an activist organization goes, up until I think about the 70s or so. Anyway, so how do you solve this problem? Like, we want people to be able to figure out that the people who are fucking them over are the rich people who are calling all the shots. It's so obvious. I don't know how it. That's the. So there's some fundamental disconnect in terms of, like, you can't turn off a person's radar, but you can turn off how they process the information their radar is picking up, I guess. Like satellite or like planetary science, I guess. There's a lot of data crunching mainly. Because the instruments are so sensitive, and they're often like networked radio antennas throughout the world. So they're just collecting data. It's all just like, no one looks at it. I mean, I know there's still plenty of visual parts to astronomy, but I don't know what the fuck I'm rambling about. Okay, so let's back this up. I'm enjoying this ramble. I just want to see people be able to like tell that they're being conned and scammed and that this isn't working for them, and that, I don't know. I don't know. And I believe that democracy, that means as much as possible, exactly the formats of that, direct or representational. But the more you get to weigh in on your life, meaning the more you get to have a say in your day via unions or co-ops or worker representation or other sorts of ways, and maybe the government might even be set up to look out for workers. Wouldn't that be a fun thing for Americans to try for once? And the more you get to say in how your community runs, the more people have a voice. I really believe this based on just like how animals work. People will vote to protect their kids. That's it. You just let people have the freedom to vote, and a society that allows them to understand what they're voting about, meaning they have to be educated on history and civics, two things we don't teach enough of. Honest histories and, all that, plus the ability to process that, and more or less, you need time. One of the reasons they want everybody working so much is so that you don't have time to develop as a more full human. You're always closer to starvation than you are to not. Retirement seems like a distant hope for most people, my age and younger, I would imagine. I mean, I've had some money issues, so I'm not. I'll be pretty broke when I get to that age. I hope not, but that's whatever. Anyway, so like, to develop the kind of critical thinking thresholds where enough people know this stuff is fucking stupid, we can go on, solve some of these issues, and fight about cultural bullshit. We'll still fight about stuff. That's the thing. You can still scratch the instinct. Yeah. Anyway. All right. I'm not even rendering it while I'm talking. God damn. There it goes. The big one. What the hell? Why did I start talking about all that? I don't remember. It's okay. The music was kind of high anyway, wasn't it? I probably screwed up there. very good. Let's take a look. So yeah, it is kind of like seeing into the past or the future when you see those lines. It's sort of what you're looking at. All right. That fucking jump interval. Okay, that's fine. We can just frame it up. I just wanted it to be a little bit bigger for the stream. Okay, here we go. Yep, the second one. That one got nice. Okay. Wait. Oh, okay. All right. Wow, that was good. Let's play it one. Whoa. Ah, fuck. Anybody's doing something screwy there. Shit. What the fuck? I know I just moved. Okay. That shouldn't have thrown me off that much, but it did. It changed the way the ones on the left here are. Okay, so I have to like. There is a bit of a tricky. Yeah, now I have to put all these in here now. No, shit, right there. All right, I'll fuck with this later. That's a mistake to try to fix right now. It's not that problem. Okay. It either works the first time or it takes you like 20 tries. It's like one of those things. So here, I just want the sound to play here. Let me turn down the... Can I turn off volume mixer? Oh yeah, After Effects is all the way down. That's why it's not. It's called responsible broadcasting. Here we go. After Effects is up now. Pause the music. So let me see. Keep an eye on desktop audio so it doesn't get too loud.
You have to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test and you've had social distance.
Restarting.
You have to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to, but I wear masks when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever. You have to understand, if you look, I mean, I have
again. I had the wrong play button. Okay.
You have to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on, when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had.
You
have to understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask.
There we go. Okay. Sorry.
200 feet away from.
Okay. Now I'm hitting play and not talking. Now.
200 feet away from it, he shows up with the biggest mask I've ever. 200 feet away from it, he shows up. Mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever. Mask. He could be speaking.
That's the last fix we'll make, and then I'll be signing off. I'll probably put on a little pleasant music just for the little ending, a little nice. What do you do at the end of stuff? Get water? No. Say goodbye. Nightcap? No. I don't know. What the hell is it? So it's this. Yeah. Okay, it's this one right here. So it's not fading. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, it needs to fade a little. Okay, yeah, there's only 2 frames of fading going on. I knew there was something weird going on there. Let's go. 2, 3, 4. That was just gonna move it around. I think we're gonna have it drop a bit. Why would you want all this attention that comes with being president? I mean, we know there's severe mental illness with this guy, but I suppose that's what explains it. But like, you've been just doing nothing but criming your entire life, and so you go get the one job that has the most scrutiny possible. That must be part of the like thrill of it. It's just like, how far can you push it? Plus, it's probably the only way he stays out of jail. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. This has been a lot of fun. I appreciate your attention. And anybody who watches this all the way to the end here is you get some bonus raffle tickets when you get up to heaven. Tell them the winners and losers guy sent you. So you're welcome. You're very welcome. I had the music up a little too loud there, didn't I? All right, good times. Press save. That's always important to do. And another day we will pick up probably tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I should stream every single freaking thing I do, but we'll probably play around with this piggy. That'll be fun. How could you resist that, huh? Look at that. I'll put his ears anywhere. I'll fucking put him over here if I want. You ever see a pig with ears over there? Of course you have, because we've all eaten pork and they kind of... There he goes. Yeah. Maybe they're not just ears. Maybe they're just weird little legs. You ever think of that? How about that? Oh shit, not sure. I know there's a way I can do it that way, but... Yeah. And he scurries towards you, leaving a trail of slime behind him and its disgusting belly. Where the hell is my layers panel? Come on. Show me the layers. What the fuck? It's being all sassy. Now I'm all distracted. Window. Workspace. There it is. I knew I was missing it there. Yeah, so we got some legs. Maybe this leg needs a little shading. That's a bad color. That's a horrible color for shade. Ugh. Who would do such a thing? It's just terrible. Maybe something like that would be better. There we go. This one needs a little shading too. It's actually gonna be a lot more like that. It's gonna be kind of annoying to do with the mouse.